Happy Friday, everybody. I hope everybody is well. Today is Friday, July 16, and this is your Friday planning video. As most of you know by now, our Mount Pleasant, South Carolina office last night was destroyed by fire. So we were very, very blessed that no one was injured by the fire, but the office was a total loss. So a quick note of thanks to the Mount Pleasant Fire Department, who for all they do, for all they always do, and for all they did last night to make sure that they contained this. Only 3 buildings were affected by this. Unfortunately, we happen to be one of them, but thank you very much to those guys. So you may recall last week's video was all about planning for the future to make sure that we're ready for things. And thank goodness we have a plan, and we have all the necessary resources to so that you will not see any change in our service to you and your plans and your goals. So I want to take a few moments today to talk about some more ideas about planning and ask you some questions. So let's start with some questions. How many online accounts do you have? Now, think about that. This includes electric or gas accounts, water bills, taxes. How about streaming services, online shopping services, major credit cards, store credit cards? How about online banking? Okay, how many of those accounts have a password protection in them? Now, of course, we know they all do. Before you think I'm going to go into cybersecurity, think again. We'll have that for another time, and we will talk about that. But I wanted to ask instead, I'll ask you another question. How many of you have had your email hacked or your identity stolen? Have you put your passwords in a place where someone other than you can get to them if necessary? Do you have them written down somewhere, stored online somewhere? So I want to recommend that you and your family members work something out so that you do have the ability to recall the major passwords that you need when you need them. If in fact, if there's an emergency or if you're not able to get them, that one of your family members can get them. So it leads me to the next thing. Where are all your important papers? How about your wills, your trust, your important legal documents? Do you have them in a fireproof safe in your house, maybe at work? Does your spouse or your family members know where they are and how to get to them? Does your spouse or do your family members know who to call or what to do if something, God forbid, actually happens to you? So this is all what we're talking about. This is about the planning. Yes, you've heard me talk about the planning. You've heard me talk about long-term care insurance and permanent income through insurance plans, college savings plans, and the likes of all that, even wills and powers of attorney. Now, if I can simply use the events that we had happen to us last night in Charleston as an emphasis for the fact that we never know what tomorrow's going to bring. May we only have good days ahead, but some things are going to happen. We know that. So when those things happen, what will you do? So I imagine some of you, like me, had people at work and friends of yours say, you know what, you need to make sure you have a plan in place in case of disruption of service of some sort. Well, COVID-19 has brought a lot of that to the forefront, and we know that a lot of that's happened over the last year or so. But many families I know don't have this yet. Now, we always had this in Charleston back in the day when we lived there. A hurricane season came along, and we always knew what was our evacuation plan going to be, where were we going to go, how are we going to connect with each other after we evacuated, because as we had happened multiple times, the cell phone services get overwhelmed, and you can't actually get the cell phones to work. So I'm suggesting that we all take a page from this book. We have great appreciation for our IHT team that has assisted us since early this morning. They were ready. They helped us to have a business continuity plan in place. We've had that in place for all these years. When I got the call from Rebecca first thing this morning, after the first initial shock, we immediately went into action, executed this plan, and now we have everything in place so that we can continue to take care of you and your business. So please, take a step back during this time when hopefully it's a little bit quieter in the summertime. Think about some of the planning that none of us really want to think about. If you need some help, please let us know. We're working on plans all the time. We're constantly thinking of new ways that we should try to plan for the unexpected. Like I said last week, the ER nurses, the first responders, they're calm under fire. Why? Because they plan for this. They're ready for it. They train for it, and they do the planning that's necessary. So thank you all for the good wishes that you've sent. And again, we're very, very blessed that all that was lost last night was bricks and mortar. We're all safe. We continue to be here to work with you, to strive to meet your goals each and every day. In the coming weeks and months, let's talk about your plans, not just the financial and estate plans, but let's add some of these emergency planning ideas into that conversation. So be safe. Have a safe weekend. Check out our market update video on Monday. I'm going to be traveling on Monday, so it may be a little bit later than usual, maybe as late as Tuesday. I'm hoping we get it out on Monday. So thanks in advance for your patience. As always, have a great weekend, and we'll talk to you soon.